Hello, my name is Joshua Rushton, and this is Module 5, Task 3, Task 4 for us, Final CAD Habitat module. So the location I chose is Mars, specifically specifically the region known as Hale. The latitude is negative 35.6879, and the longitude is 36.3616. X. Okay. And here is my CAD model. It uses these domes that have hexagons and pentagons. And if I just quickly grab one thing, if I grab this, the inside the hexagons are made up of smaller hexagons, which will help for when they need repairs. That way we can just take apart the hexagons and just put more hexagons and replace them. The hexagons are made of three materials. They're made of a layer of titanium, a thin layer of lead to help prevent radiation, and a layer of steel. So my layout is as seen. The male and female housings both have room for about 150 astronauts each, which which so they are able to both start at the 100 astronauts starting, and then they have room and space for the 250 astronauts. The cafeteria has space for 200, about 300 astronauts, and is where both the preparing of food and the saving of food will be placed. We have our garden slash farm dome. And this is important because when the first 100 astronauts come, they will need to start working on the garden so that eventually we can have 250 astronauts self-sustained using both this garden and the water recovery unit. Up here is the water recovery unit. We have, which will be where the which will both be where we process water ice and also where we have the, the water recovery systems as well as water processor. And with this, there should be enough to be able to both support 100 at the start and then eventually 250. We have the Self Health Center, and this is mainly where any radiation poisoning that astronauts get from outside, staying outside too long, as well as just any injuries that they sustain, they will go here. And this is basically the hospital. We have the HQ and comm center, and that includes the satellite, which is what we'll be sending messages back and receiving messages from Earth. Um, Inside the comms and HQ centers, we have all the basic requirements of what we need. And then the maintenance place is where we will keep the ARS system, which is what will be supplying the space with air, as well as the place where we will be doing any maintenance on the water recovery units, as well as the water processes, or in any of the garden, the sprinkler systems in any of those. That's where all the tools and for repairing stuff will be. Next, we have the nuclear power plants, and that is just going to all contain a small nuclear power plant to power all of this. Next, we have the buggies and storage repairs. And that's just going to be where we store the buggies and repair them. I'll mention now that these hallways are about 10 meters long, wide. That way we can are able to have buggies go both ways should they need to. And right here is where they go out onto the landing pad, which is also where we will be receiving supply drops should that become necessary. And it's also where we're going to be sending out buggies into the where that way they can go collect us water, ice, and minerals. Here is the fitness center. This is so that our astronauts stay healthy, both physically and mentally. And that's it for all of those. Next, I did discuss that the the walls would be made out of the hexagons, which are made out of titanium, lead, and steel. And that's important to just remember. The lead is there to prevent radiation damage. The challenges for Mars in of itself is mainly just keeping the dust outside. And I will note that each of these have an airlock inside them. That way, should one of these domes be breached in any way, we are able to airlock it and repair it without making all of this without losing, compromising, that's the word I'm looking for, all the other domes and hallways. Uh, and that should be everything.